Hi everyone, I hope you're well. Today we're going to focus on glider or slider exercises. For those who haven't done these before, these are a variation on exercises that you may already do. Okay, so the idea of it is that you're on a surface where you can glide your body, whether it's your arms or your legs, away from the center, and as you draw the arm or leg back into the center, into the body, you actively work the core. So they're low impact, so they're beneficial in that way. There's no sort of jarring of the joints. Also there's, as I said, a really strong focus on core awareness and engagement. And then it brings balance to your body, and brings strength and stamina, and also there's an attention paid to the breath. So as you extend away, you inhale, and as you draw the arm or the leg back in, you exhale and you hollow out the core. You think of your deep transverse ab muscles, and you try and make create a bit more stability in the center of your body. So let's get started. The idea is, well, I have a timber floor here, so I'm just using socks for my feet, and I also have claws for, if I want to use them for my feet I can, or I'll use them for my arm movements. If you don't have a wooden floor, if you have say a tile floor, I think the socks and the cloths will still be good. But if you have a carpeted floor, you could use the lid of a plastic container or a paper plate with the shiny surface down, so that it'll slide along the floor. So you'll find something to make it work if you need. Now the thing is, with these exercises, I'm going to demo a certain number for them. There are loads you can do, but I'm not going to throw it all at you right now today. I'm just going to give you a certain number, and I'm not even going to tell you how many to do, because it takes a while for your body to become accustomed to it. So you listen to yourself. Again, if you have any injuries or any issues or any problems, you be aware that your movement may not be as good as you want it to be. So just give yourself a chance and don't push too hard. Always be cautious, okay? So we're just going to warm up a little bit first. So I'm thinking, as I loosen up my body, I'm thinking of the joints, mobilizing the joints, creating a little bit of heat in the muscle, okay? And as I move, I'm trying to also think of lengthening the muscle. So when we get into some of the bigger movements, you want to be ready, okay? Now, I'm aware that I have socks on the floor here and it might be a bit slippy. So if you feel that you need to do this on a mat, do it, okay? So be aware of that. You don't want to slide on the floor. Okay, so we're just rolling through the hips and rolling through the shoulders, okay? So the warm-up can be as long as you need it to be. So we're going to start with a side lunge. I'm standing with one foot on the mat. Now the reason I have a foot on the mat is because, as I said earlier, this is a slippy surface. I have socks on. I don't want to slide with this leg. This foot is anchored down and I'm sliding out with this opposite leg. So I slide out into a wide lunge. And my knee and my ankle are lined up. My toe, whatever way you feel you can, but don't let yourself collapse with the knee. My toes are pointed to the corner right now and my knee is traveling in the same direction as my middle toe. So it's tracking in the right way. And then I slide it back in, okay? So I inhale on the way out and I slide it back in. Now you might notice that my floor is a little bumpy, and I'm conscious of that. So I know how to work with my surface, with the surface I'm working with. So, always just listen to what your body is telling you. So you inhale on the way out, hollow out the core, exhale and draw the leg back in. And as you draw the leg back in, there's activation here on the inner thighs. And when you bring your leg in to touch the opposite leg, you lengthen up to your spine and you actively work your glute, okay? So the core area is on, glute area is strong, the legs are working also, okay? So we're going to change it to the opposite side. I'm moving the mat. I'm anchoring through this foot, I lengthen through my spine, and I slide out. Exhale in. Inhale out, and exhale back in. So watch that the knee doesn't travel beyond the toe. Try to make sure that this leg stays strong. Now you, if you've never done this before, you might sort of go here, and that might be enough for you. That's perfect, you know. Again, anything that's new needs to be learned slowly and properly. There's no point thinking you can do a lot without teaching your body, and these videos are what that's about. It's about giving your body a chance to understand the movement, so you're teaching it every time, okay? So again, that is your wide lunge. You do a certain number on one side and you do the same number on the opposite side. Okay, now we're going into a reverse lunge. So again, I have one mat anchored on, one foot anchored on the mat, and you're using the principles for all the other exercises with this as well. You're thinking of your posture. You're aware of how you hold your body. From the top to the bottom and from the bottom to the top. You work it from the inside out. You take one leg back, you slide it back. You actively firm through your feet, and then you use the power in this leg to pull that leg back in. And as you bring it in, I'm not putting it on the mat, you can if you want, but I'm stopping here, and I really fire up to the glute. I'm firm to the quads. I'm trying to balance my pelvis. Awareness here in the midsection all the way around. My posture, shoulders are down, chin is in, head is high. Okay, I slide back, I slide in. Inhale back, exhale. Inhale back, exhale. When I bring myself up, I'm not locking out the supporting knee. I'm just strong in my muscle structure, okay? There's a muscle and mind connection. So I use my breath to start to hollow out, connect with the muscle. Inhale back, exhale. You know, and when you do it like that, you get a little bit more awareness of what's activating, of what is firing, okay? So you change sides. And the reason I'm not giving you a number of reps is because it will be completely individual, you know, everybody will be different with this. So again, pelvis is even. Slide the leg back. Inhale, exhale. And I'm using that big exhalation to try and activate a little bit more. The beauty of doing this sort of work at home is that you have the opportunity to be as loud and, you know, as you want. So use the time to sort of focus a little bit more on getting that breath to work. Because sometimes when you're in class, you might want to breathe a little bit more, you know, loudly or powerfully, and you don't want to do it because there's too many people around. Now you have a chance to do it the way you want to do it, okay? Exhale, okay? So we're going to change that slightly. And we're going into a low lunge. So I'm starting with the first leg again. I'm taking it back. I firm, I inhale. I bring it in. I'm staying low on the supporting leg. There's very little weight on this leg, and I just lift my foot and I bring the heel in front. So my knees are side by side, my pelvis is even, and I don't let this hip drop to the side. I pull this hip in, okay? I bring my toe back, I slide it back. I slide it in, I step it over, I step it back, I slide it back. In, over, back, back, in, over, back, back. Okay, so you'll notice obviously that the leg that's taking the weight is burning. It's very satisfying when you do that, when you feel the strength working. So, you know, again, watch the pelvis isn't dropping to the side. Keep the hips as even as you can. They're trying to point in the same direction. They may sway a little bit, don't worry, but try and have this, you know, connect with your body. Pay attention to it. Take the opposite leg back. So again, hips are even, hollow out the core. Get the shoulders down, tuck your chin. Slide it in, stay here, stay low on this leg. Keep this hip pulling into the midline. Take the heel in front, take the toe back. Exhale, heel, toe. Inhale, exhale, heel, toe. Now you breathe, you continue to breathe all the way through, obviously. You stay low, you start burning up here and here. Breathing into it. okay? And even if you do 3 or 4 of those, it may be enough. But it's definitely warming up nicely now. So we're taking it from there, we're bringing it onto the floor, and we're going to go into a body saw. So this is where you have your arms on the mat. So again, I folded up the mat because I'm going to be on my hands and my elbows for a little bit for the next while, so I don't want it to be on the hard floor. So think of protecting the bony parts of the joints, you know, you don't want to have sharpness there. So I'm bringing my elbows down, I lengthen my legs, and even here I'm active, okay? So you're in a plank, you're hollowing out your core, so you think of midsection, zip your belly in, draw the 2 front hip points in, pubic bone up a little bit so the tailbone is lengthening, awareness throughout the core, okay? So, shoulder blades, protraction in the shoulder blades, I'm not sinking down, I'm lengthening up, my chin is tucking. Okay, I slide my feet back, and then I bring them forward. I inhale back, and then I exhale back to center. I keep pulling my belly button into my backbone. Inhale back, exhale back to center. If you're doing this, and you feel, oh, there's too much pressure, my body is too heavy in that I'm pulling down to my core and I'm not supporting myself well, then you need to do the alternative position, which is where you have, now these cloths aren't ideal for this floor, for my knees, but you'll get the idea. So you can put your knees on the cloths or whatever you have, or slippery socks even, and you slide your knees back. Again, there's grooves on the floor and they don't allow the cloths to move very well. So slide back and slide forward, but you get the idea. So you inhale back, and you exhale when you zip in really strongly, drawing the legs or drawing your body forward. So that's your body saw. The depth of it depends on you, as in how far you move depends on you. The further you move, the more challenging it's going to be. So we're taking it from there and we're bringing it into a mountain climber. So you'll be familiar with mountain climbers. Hands underneath the shoulders, extend your legs. Firm, lengthen, and awareness all the way through. And then you bring your knee across to the opposite arm and back and across. So you exhale, inhale, and you slide. Now you can go slow, you know, you can make it work for you, or you can go quick. Again, this is very much, obviously arms working there because you're taking a lot of load, but core. So don't feel on your back. As I've said in previous videos, if you aren't warmed up correctly, if you have a restriction in your movement, whether it's a hamstring or whether it's a lower back tightness or even mid-back, you may not get the knee all the way in. If that's the problem for you, you slow it down and you don't use momentum. Momentum can be the problem for people. They think they need to get deeper and they rush into it. By doing it slowly, you'll gain strength and stamina. So again, make it work for you. Don't follow, you don't have to do exactly what I'm saying, but make it suitable for you and your level. Okay, so that's your mountain climber. We're going into a jack now. So we're still on our arms. We take the 2 legs out and then we jack in. Out, exhaling. Out, exhaling. Out, exhaling. Out, exhaling. So there, that's straightforward enough. It's a jack. We're going to add on. We're doing a jack. We're going to tuck. Pull your belly into your backbone. Take it out. Jack. Tuck. Pull the belly in. Out. Jack. Tuck. Now we're going to add on here. We're taking it out. We're bringing it in. Slide your feet in. Put your feet down. Stand up. Modified burpee. Hands down. Slide back. Slide out. Slide in. Bring it in. Stand up. We'll add on one more little bit. Slide. Out. In. Press. Up. In. Stand. Down. Back. Out. In. In. Up. Sorry, forgot the press up. Back. Out. In. Press. Up. In. Up. Down. Out. In. Press. Up. I keep forgetting it. Bring it up. Bring it down. And bring it back. Okay? So there's your little bit of cardio. You can add on more. There's so much you can do with that, okay? So keep mixing it up for your body. So from there, we're going into a wheelbarrow, it's called. So again, this can be quite a challenge, okay? So I'm going to use cloths underneath my hands because I can grip them. You know, I can't grip them with my knees sliding back and forth, but I can grip them with my hands, so it's easier to use the cloths under the hands. Now, my knees are on the floor, my spine is long. So I'm thinking of my upper body, my shoulders are strong, I'm using my breath here. I'm going to bend down, I'm going to slide one arm out and pull it back in as I pull up. Breathe, extend, pull in, push up. So it's down, out, in, up, down, out, in, up. Now, if you don't manage to get that far, if you don't want to dip at all, you can just extend, pull it in, extend, pull it in, extend, pull it in. You can do a little dip, but you know, when you get more familiar, you can go deeper. And you can do it with your knees off the floor as well, whichever works for you, okay? So that's your wheelbarrow. That's really good strength for your upper body, shoulders, arms. So it's a nice one to try. Okay, we're going to go back onto our hands here for our pike. So we're in our plank. Be firm, inhale, and exhale as you lift your hips up. So imagine that someone's holding your hips and lifting you to the sky. So you're pulling your belly to your backbone. You're lifting, you're very light on your feet. And then you slide your feet back. You don't drop your hips. Don't let yourself collapse. Exhale up. Inhale back. So imagine that you're just about ready to do a handstand. Okay, so you can add on here. Tuck. Pike. Tuck to the elbows, into a pike, okay? Elbow, elbow, pike. Okay, so you can, again, mix it up. Now, I'm aware that you're on your wrists for quite a while. So the idea is, if you feel it's too much on the wrist, you add one of these exercises into your usual workout, or do a few together, you know. So don't destroy, don't exhaust a joint. Give it a chance to recover. Do a little bit more. Just make it interesting for your body. That's the main thing to remember with all these things. So we're taking it from there into a bridge. So when we go into our bridge, we're lying on our back, our feet are hip distance, knees are pointing up. I'm letting my shoulders relax down my back. My chest is open. All these points, they become automatic after a while. You breathe smoothly, and all you're doing is peeling your spine off the floor, having your pelvis even, drawing the pubic bone up a little bit, watching the ribs are not flaring. Keep the rib cage down so the back is nice and long, hip points join in. Slide one leg away, bring it in. Slide the other leg away, bring it in. Now this might feel very easy. If you want to make it a bit more challenging, you can press the heel down. Press as you drag your foot in. The same with the arms, the same with the two legs together. When you're doing it in any way, you want to make it more challenging, you press harder into the floor. So you're creating a bit more resistance in the movement. Obviously, the other alternative is to allow the two legs slide away and then bring them back in. Now, if that's a challenge, and that can be a bit of a shock to the system. So if your calf muscles feel like it's too much, you don't do it too often, you just do one at a time and then do the two together if you feel you can. But you need to actively use the glutes. So the back line of the body is working very hard to bring you in, okay? So, again, be aware of the modifications. Right, we're going to change it. We're going to work a little bit on the back here. We're going to take ourselves onto the floor, laying ourselves down. We're going into a snow angel. So as I said, you press into the floor if you want to make it more challenging. some people may have restriction in their movement, in the movement of their shoulders or other joints. And for those people who have restrictions, I don't want you to press too hard. I just want you to get movement in the body, okay? And then when you get the nice movement, that's not rough, that's really smooth and even movement, then you can build strength. So don't think that you need to push really hard until you have the movement that flows. When you flow with movement, you can build strength, not the other way around, okay? So when you're here, you're letting yourself, your feet are hip distance apart, your pelvis is heavy on the floor. You actively pull your belly in a little bit, so don't let your belly be heavy on the floor. Pull your belly in off the floor. Allow your forehead to rest on the floor or on the mat. My arms are strong, and I take one arm down and bring it up, down and bring it up. There is going to be a fabulous sheen off this floor, okay? So bring it down and bring it up. And then if you feel you can, you stay down and you bring 2 arms down and you press into the floor. And you bring it down and you press in. Inhale as the arms come up, exhale, push it down and use the strength in your back, okay? And then bring it up. So that is your other option. Now we're taking the hands by the rib cage again. I'm pushing to my arms and I'm sitting back into the heels. I allow myself to stretch here, get my arms down by my feet. I roll my spine and I rebuild my back. Bring my body up. I roll my shoulders here. 2 arms forward. Let your head lower down. Stretch out the shoulder blades. Hollow out the core even now. Bring yourself, hands released, curl your toes under, sit it into your heels. So your toes are flexed, the heels are up, so there's a stretch on the feet. Take your 2 arms behind, knuckles, draw down to the feet, chest open. Lift your sternum. You can look forward, you can look up. Just draw the shoulder blades back. Reach the knuckles down to the floor. Breathe into that. So open up. Flexion and extension of the spine. It's so important. Release the arms. Release the hands. Curl your toes, feet back onto the floor. Hands to the floor. Extend your spine and allow your head to hang here. Take your hands on your elbows. Allow the elbows to be heavy. Firm the legs. So the hamstrings need to get a little bit of length here again, down into the calf muscles. Allow the head to be heavy, allow the shoulders to hang down, and allow the upper body just to be here for a little bit so that the stretch will happen naturally. Don't force it. And if you can't have, if the legs will not extend fully like this, you can have them slightly bent, there's no problem. So now bend your knees, breathe in, and rebuild your spine. Inch by inch, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you come up to the top. You stand nice and tall, and you just loosen out a little bit again. So the arms are open, so you stretch to the chest. And as I stretch to my chest, I'm strengthening through my back. Okay, I draw my knees up. I take one knee in and I hold it. I balance, lift it up into the chest, release it, keep the arms here. Firm the supporting leg, release it down, change over. Balance really is really important for everything. And when we're balancing on one foot like this, there's adjustments being made for the entire time that you're balancing. So it's not just, okay, I do it once. It's happening every moment you're here. And that's really important for the mind and body connection. It gets the nervous system to work, you know, with the breath and with the muscular system. So always think, balance is key for everything. So release, and then release it down. Roll your shoulders, take a breath in, bend the knees, extend up, reach up, lifting up to the heels of the hands, extend the arms out, reach to the sides, and then bring it down. Check out the legs and arms. So, again, take your time with it, build it up over a period of weeks rather than minutes. Don't rush in, you know, you have to understand if it's new to your body, it will take a little bit of practice. At the surface, may be different for you, so you know, just give it a chance, bit by bit. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.